Minus Goji, the most recent and even terrifying incarnation of Godzilla yet, and is quite literally a walking weapon, as he has one of the most deadliest beams on screen. Then we have GMK Godzilla, a supernatural entity inhabited by the restless souls of those killed during World War II, seeking nothing more than death and destruction, and to not let the people of Japan forget the past. These two are known to be the most menacing versions of Godzilla that has ever been shown on film. However, there are two questions that have been on my mind. What would happen if they faced each other? And if so, who would win? How's it going, everyone? It's your host with the most, and real quick, just wanted to say happy late birthday to the king himself, Godzilla, destroying and protecting for 70 years. And for this occasion, we're gonna analyze which of these two menacing kings will come on top or who will fall down. The first category, as always, is strength. First is Minus Goji. Now, given that Minus Goji hasn't fought any other kaiju yet, that doesn't mean he still has good feats of strength. A good example of this is when he threw a 16,875 ton Japanese cruiser Takeo, but given that he broke it in half, it would have at least been around 14,000 tons. He also punched one of these cruisers during the assault, as well as overpowering two Fletcher-class destroyers. During the Ginza attack, Minus Goji completely destroyed buildings with a swipe of his tail, specifically ramming into the theater and tail swiped it like it was nothing. Now, this may seem pretty strong to you, but now let's take a look at GMK. Unlike Minus Goji, GMK Godzilla shows impressive amounts of strength. A few examples of this is when Godzilla managed to throw around the 10,000 ton Baragon with just one arm, as well as overpowering him. And when he encountered Mothra and King Ghidorah, he managed to draw blood from one of Ghidorah's necks and threw him, which this incarnation weighed around 25,000 metric tons, as well as tail-whipped Mothra, who also weighs in at 15,000 tons. So this Godzilla can throw around 10,000 to 25,000 tons. I'm gonna declare GMK as the winner for strength, given that he has way more better feats than Minus. Up next is combat and reaction speed. This category is a bit different because their swimming speed isn't stated in any official media, so we'll cover both their combat and reaction speed. This time we'll take a look at GMK. His feat of reaction speed was when he first fought the Fighter 7 jets. He was able to take 4 of them out with his beam in seconds, and these jets are described as flying at supersonic speeds, mostly around 2,200 kilometers an hour, and even at maximum speed of Mach 2. Next up is Minus. Now, similar to GMK in a way, Minus Goji has the best reaction speed. An example is when he faced Shikishima in the Keshu J7W Shinden, which can travel speeds up to 470 miles per hour. However, when turning, the speed decreases by 4, and Godzilla nearly struck the plane, but missed. So, who wins? Well, honestly, GMK wins at combat and reaction speed, due to the fact that he can take out 4 jets that can travel at supersonic speeds, and is more faster to react than Minus, as Minus barely struck the Shinden plane. Then we have general IQ and battle IQ. This time we'll look at Minus Goji. However, the main issue, once again, is that this film is strictly about Godzilla. So again, he doesn't fight any other kaiju. The only things he's fought were the JSDF and the naval ships. But there are moments in the film where he is shown to be a skillful ambusher. He caught the Kashi Maru ship off by surprise and destroyed the Takeo naval ships underwater, being out of range of its cannons. Meanwhile, for GMK, he shows a lot of impressive intelligence, given that he's also supernatural. An example is when he walked past by a building with a patient inside, tricking her into thinking that Godzilla passed her, until getting killed by his tail crushing the building. They may not seem impressive at first, but that was just the beginning. Another one is when Baragon was about to pounce on him. Godzilla dodged and sent him flying with a swipe of his tail. And after being attacked from behind by Mothra just once, he took the advantage of this strategy the second time, obliterating her with his atomic breath in a quick draw. One more is during his underwater fight with Ghidorah. Godzilla pulled a 3-headed dragon into the direction of the D-03 missile fired at him, causing his opponent to be harmed instead. For IQ and battle IQ, the winner is GMK Goji, as he has more experience when it comes to combat and intelligence altogether. Coming up next is agility. Surprisingly enough, GMK Godzilla can somewhat run despite his large size, charging at his opponents. Now for Minus Goji, despite being slow, he nearly hit the Shinden plane when it turned, but for the most part is pretty slow. Honestly, this one is another tie. Both of their agility is similar in a way, given their somewhat similar build. Next is durability. Let's look at Minus Goji. Minus Goji is extremely durable, rendering him effectively immune to conventional weapons. Even before being mutated, small arms fired by the Japanese military on Odo island served only to annoy and anger him, rather than deal any substantial damage. But his best feat was being able to survive the atomic blast at Bikini Atoll during Operation Crossroads, going off in close range. After being irradiated, weapons fired from cruisers and tanks failed to injure him. Now GMK, he is completely immune to all the JSDF's weaponry, including the DO-3 missile, an armor-piercing warhead designed to penetrate solid rock, which explodes harmlessly against his armored hide. In addition, the various attacks used against him by the Guardian monsters, while able to hurt Godzilla, are also unable to penetrate his skin, until a powerful energy ball fired by King Ghidorah and powered by Godzilla's own atomic breath is able to penetrate his skin. For this category, Minus Goji takes his first win, because Minus can take extreme damage but also can heal quickly. Now we're covering abilities. Let's look at GMK's abilities. He of course has his atomic breath that is extremely powerful and capable of producing a mushroom cloud upon impact, as well as injuring or destroying other kaiju in a single hit or two. GMK Godzilla also possesses pinpoint accuracy when blasting his opponents or the JSDF. Then he has his energy absorption. During the final battle between him and Ghidorah, Godzilla was able to absorb energy from Ghidorah's gravity beams. However, it's unclear if he can absorb different forms of energy. Then there's his gravitational atomic breath. This beam was strong enough to completely destroy King Ghidorah in a single blast. However, this will be useless since Ghidorah isn't here, unless somehow he can absorb other forms of energy. Next up is Minus Goji. Of course, just like any incarnation, he has his atomic breath. This version of the beam is highly dangerous, generating an extremely powerful nuclear explosion upon striking its target, creating a massive fireball and mushroom cloud, as well as a shockwave which levels almost everything in its path. He also has instant regeneration, an insane healing factor. Once getting extreme damage, Godzilla can quickly heal himself. However, this regeneration isn't exactly perfect, as after getting his mouth blown up by a mine, it left a permanent scar on his face, so his regen isn't exactly infinite. But there's another ability where it might have an advantage over GMK, and that is contamination. Minus Goji's beam leaves a lot of radioactive contamination. This is evident as when Shikishima reunited with Nokorio, she had a veiny pattern on her neck that resembles Godzilla's spines. I'm going to give the second win to Minus Goji, because once again, it's unsure whether or not GMK can absorb other types of energy. And also, Minus Goji may have a chance. Who knows? Next up we have physical weapons. Taking a look at Minus Goji, he is covered in jagged spikes, and with sharp teeth, claws, and large legs and tail. Up next is GMK. Similar to Minus, he has beefy feet and legs that can put a lot of force into a kick or stomp. He also has sharp teeth that were capable of causing Ghidorah's neck to bleed, as well as sharp claws in his long tail. Both have a similar build in a way, as they both have bulky legs and a bulky tail, but I'm gonna give physical weapons to GMK, as he was able to draw blood from Ghidorah's neck. Finally, we have beam strength. Looking into who has the strongest beam, let's look at Minus One's beam. This beam is described as being the most dangerous weapon. The shockwave is powerful enough to generate a vacuum, as it blows out air outwards from the site of the blast, which then rushes back inward moments later, inflicting even more damage to the surrounding area. Godzilla's atomic breath is so powerful in fact that it inflicts damage to his face and throat from the intense heat and radiation that it gives off, which makes him regenerate the damaged tissue before using the ability again. Minus Goji's beam is limited to being used given the fact that his own weapon injures him. Finally, let's look at GMK Godzilla. His beam can also produce a powerful blast that is capable of producing a mushroom cloud upon impact, crippling or destroying other kaiju in a single blast or two. So whose beam is stronger? Both of their beams produce a mushroom-shaped cloud. However, Minus Goji's beam is much more stronger, as according to the novelization of Godzilla Minus One, the ensuing shockwave of the blast in Ginza quote-unquote pulverized everything within a 6-kilometer radius. Once again, both of their beams are powerful, but Minus Goji's beam is much stronger, not only producing a powerful blast, and is so strong it even injures Minus Goji himself. Without no doubt, Minus takes the win for beam strength. Now let's see who wins. This one is a close one. GMK wins at strength, IQ and battle IQ, physical weapons, and combat and reaction speed, while Minus Goji takes durability, abilities, and beam strength. And both are tied at agility. With a score of 4-5, the winner is GMK Goji. Now here's why I believe GMK could have a chance at winning. If GMK Godzilla could possibly cause extreme damage to the point where Minus can't regenerate anymore, I can see him winning. But given the fact that Minus is covered in spikes, it might be difficult to land a bite or a punch. Another way I can see this happening is if GMK absorbs Minus Goji's energy, despite it's unknown whether or not he really can. However, after this fight, GMK will take extreme amounts of heavy damage, due to the fact that he cannot heal quickly like other incarnations. Now before you guys say otherwise, I can also see Minus winning also, either inflicting enough damage on GMK okay, which could possibly happen given the fact that his healing factor isn't quick, or just completely destroy him with his atomic beam. But those are the two scenarios I can see on both sides. So what do you guys think? Let me know, and please be nice about it. One more thing before I go, I want to quickly apologize for the late upload, as I've been busy lately, so hopefully this one make it up. Anyways, this is GODZILLA signing off.